I think what I'd like to do is I'll just give you a little introduction of myself, and then maybe if you want to just do a brief introduction, because I was going to talk about the Ayurveda, some of the daily and ritual practices, the cleanse that we're going to do for the first time here this fall, which I'm excited about. And then I have things if you want to try things. I have some food. I brought some date, they're called date balls, date juice. They're made with dates and a sweet fall detox herb blend. So my name is Melissa, and I have been a yoga instructor now for 30 years, and I've been practicing for probably close to 40. I've also been for the past 15 years an herbalist and an urban farmer. So I would say that's where I even though I've been teaching yoga, I have a daily yoga practice, study yoga. I really focused on the herbs and the land and the growing for the past 15 years. And then maybe like a year or two ago, I started really burning out. And what I realized, somebody pointed out to me, is that we do regenerative practices with the soil, right? And we talk about what it is to grow organically, but I wasn't treating my body that way in a regenerative way, right? I was just burning it out, right? I was pushing it because that's what I knew. And that's what gave me, you know, you get social accolades if you push yourself, and you know, and so it was a real lesson to me to be like, oh. And then there's so much information, right? Like doctors don't agree, scientists don't agree. Where we get our information is already coming through. Did that reporter actually hear that person right? As somebody who's been interviewed by reporters, and I'm like, oh, I wouldn't say that. But so it just was so confusing. I'm like, where do I turn? And frankly, I was just getting irritated that every week there was like some new study, and I'm like, who funded the study, right? And then what are you telling me, like what new pill, and who's going to benefit now from this? And so I just kind of was like, this is insane. So because yoga has been so important to me for so long, and at that same time, it was the spring, and there was an Ayurveda class at Kripalu for like a 5-day class. So I went, I had this experience, and it was amazing. And I realized like there is a 5,000-year-old tradition that will give you simple things to do and will tell you to start simply. And by making these small changes, you start to come into alignment with the seasons around you, with what's going on in your life, with the processes of aging, you know, because I too have been through all of those. I am as well post-menopause. I've had 2 children. And so it just, like, it made sense, and it worked on this very simple level. And so to me, I was like, okay, this is what I would love to share, because we're given so much information, and it's hard to sort what's true. It's hard to sort who's behind it. And the best understanding we have is that Ayurveda gets started around 5,000 years ago. There are literally like 5,000-year-old texts that are videos, which are the Ayurvedic doctors getting together to have a conference. Wow. So like we had textbooks. The ones that we used were like 1,000-year-old translations from Sanskrit, where they're, you know, getting together and talking about the different issues. But the best that they understood was that people are settling down into cities, and suddenly it's not just like you're out in the you know, not in the country, but living in more agricultural settlements. It's becoming, these are the first urban cities that arise in northern India, like I think it was about 10,000 years ago. So they actually think that's where Ayurveda gets started. It's to help people live in alignment with the natural world and the seasons, when they're suddenly closer to more people, they're suddenly closer, there's more diseases, because there's not just people that are closer, there's also animals that are coming in and living close as well. So it very much starts in Ayurveda with an understanding of we are all made of the same 5 elements, basically. We're made of space, we're made of wind, we're made of fire, we're made of water, and we're made of earth. And every single thing is our plastics, our medicines, our natural clothing, like it's all made of the elements, but it's how they're in balance too. So in Ayurveda, the goal is to come into balance, okay? It's never about perfection. Like perfection doesn't exist. There's only consciousness, right? Like there's no being a perfect person. We can be a more conscious person, but like this is how life operates, I think. And so we look to balance, and we know that by how we feel, right? Like if we feel good, if we feel bad, you know, and so those are really important markers by for us for knowing how to bring balance. So, and in Ayurveda, similar to allopathic medicine, opposites balance. So if you have too much anger, maybe that's too much heat. How do you bring in cooling, right? There's ways to bring in cooling that are simple, like sticking your feet in cold water or gazing at the moon, like at nighttime, you know, or having a cool drink because it's like 95 degrees out, you know, and so you have like cardamom water, which is a very cooling herb. So it's looking for how do we find balance and starting simple, right? So Ayurveda has kind of suggestions around daily practice that fit into what they talk about now as circadian rhythms, right? The idea that, you know, if we think that we are all, you know, we've come out of these same elements, these same rhythms, part of having that sense of feeling comfortable in ourselves, having that sense of feeling balanced, again, is sort of finding like where we belong in those rhythms and allowing ourselves to be connected in there. And so sometimes it is about making changes, right? But it's not about, even in the like these textbooks that we had to read for our, when I became an Ayurvedic health counselor, you know, they all say like, you don't do everything at once. If you do everything at once, you're gonna have worse problems than you have right now. So like start small. So one of the reasons that we wanted to offer the cleanse, because fall is a particularly powerful time when we are going through transitions and we're feeling it in our bodies as the weather changes, maybe we have allergies, we get more digestive upsets then. Your bodies are already very wise and know what to do, but our bodies also get inundated with a lot, you know? And so it's giving yourself a chance to give your body a little bit of a rest. So an Ayurvedic cleanse is essentially a kind of a gentle digestive reset where you eat really simple foods. So it would be a whole protein, right? You'd eat like say mung beans and rice, a seasonal vegetable, and then the spices that you like, that you relate to. But you eat, it's not about being, you know, you shouldn't feel hungry. You actually are eating for the whole time, but you're eating the same food essentially for 3 days or 5 days. You're eating this khichdi. And you know, people will sometimes do like a different, maybe like a rice, plain rice or something, but you're giving your whole body. And the idea in Ayurveda is that your digestive system and all of that, you're not just digesting the food to build your body, you're digesting your experiences, you're digesting your emotions. And so giving yourself this chance to kind of slow down a little bit, give your body a break. And we really encourage people. And I know, so I've participated for 3 years now in these cleanses. And some years it's just easier than others. Some years, like, you know, I'm just more busy. But the idea is if you can give yourself a little bit of extra time that week, you know, that's why the way that we set it up, we'll run this from, it starts Sunday, October 19th, and it goes through the following Saturday. We'll have a khichdi meal together so people can see. taste it. And you'll already have, we have like recipe books and lists for the food. But it's all really up to you and your tastes. Like maybe you want to do quinoa instead of rice. So there's a lot of kind of specifics as you get into it that I can definitely work with people on too, for what is, most going to serve your body really. So you give yourself that time, and then, so you're taking a break from caffeine, you're taking a break from the processed sugars, right? You're taking a break from those sorts of things, but you're still eating, right? So if you're hungry, eat. If you feel like you didn't eat enough, you eat. It's not about, but it still has interesting kinds of things that you see arise, like how connections to food are emotional sometimes, not just physical. But I will say, I have experienced all of these when I did a cleanse, and I think that was why I also wanted to continue doing, like, I will be doing it with everyone this year. Like, that'll be my time to do it. I do one in the fall and one in the spring, traditionally. So it is a time where your digestive system really does start to function better. Like if you're somebody who's really constipated, you start to have more regular bowel movements. If you're somebody who things just run through all of the time, and there's like different kinds of understandings about different kinds of digestion in Ayurveda, but it gives your body a time to just have food in it that's pretty simple to digest, that sort of from a perspective of how long humans have been around. It's sort of like food that's come from the earth that humans have been eating, as opposed to something that's kind of processed in that way. And so, but the other thing that's interesting is so it helps with your digestive system, like your elimination, and that I will say, and if you study Ayurveda, that becomes like one of the most important things. Like everybody sits around and talks about their bowel movements, because your ability to process what you take in, you can tell by what comes out.
Yeah.
How did that work? Did my body take it in, or was it like, no, thank you, and just pushed it all right out, And so to really deeply nourish your body, your digestive system has to be in a place to be able to even take in that nourishment, right? And you also may notice that there are things that your body's like, nope, don't like that, or like, yes, this is great, or, like I still remember, even though this was almost 40 years ago, the first time I had like this kale, millet, and ghee dinner. Like my friend who was a cook and a yogi, and it was the first time I had a meal where I was like, oh, I feel good after this meal. It was really interesting. Not like, oh, I feel jazzed and ready to go, or like, oh, I just overeaten. But that sense of like eating a meal, but feeling really good afterwards, being able to digest your food. And then the more you can easily digest your food, the more you're going to be able to digest your life experiences, right? And the things that are going on in your mind. Because there's a huge connection in Ayurveda. There's a whole science around understanding the connection between the mind and the body. We get through that a lot of times with a lot of the yoga practices. And then Ayurveda, there's just like a whole other layer of offerings around how do we work with our minds. Because they've spent like 10,000 years looking at this and writing it down. And a lot of our stuff isn't that new, right? I mean, a lot of these things in being human, really. Okay, so anyways, I wanted to just get a sense of, if you just wouldn't mind introducing yourself. And then I guess like what you're interested in, what questions you have, and then I'll go into the rest of it from there.
I'm Crystal. Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
I'm recording the meeting on Zoom. I am a yoga teacher here, and my question is that I do not do well with beans. So if I was going to follow along with the khichdi, do you notice that the dal tends to upset anybody?
Actually, no, because it's when you use like mung beans, they're a different kind of bean than say kidney bean or a pinto bean.
All right.
Like literally different species, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes.
Riding in the same car as my husband.
Yes. Actually, yeah. That's a really good question. That's a really good question. Yeah. Yes.
Hi, I'm Jody. I started Inner Bliss, March? Probably around March.
Yeah.
And I go to a lot of Crystal's classes. And then I like the happy hips, and then I like the what is it? The curvy girl yoga. So much fun. Right. And Jamie's class. The yang, which I know I say wrong anyways. But anyway, so I was trying to a year ago, I really did kind of like go into a dark spot with the PMDD and realizing that I'm in perimenopause and like the whole world kind of like combusted. So since then, trying to do better with it all, not just taking medicine, not just taking vitamins, but going to yoga, running, walking every day. And then I added yoga in as well. So I got the physical parts.
Awesome. Yeah.
But trying to find out what works for my body, especially with the PMDD, because there is so much information out there, but what's right, what's not right, the research isn't there. And I agree with you, the research is not there to support it, so we really don't know. But I can't afford not to know what works and doesn't. So what I'm on now seems to be okay, but I'm always looking for the next thing that could maybe, instead of taking 5 vitamins a day, just kind of eating healthier and doing that. So PMDD, perimenopause, and ADHD. That's me. Kitten. Hi, kitten.
And her wife. I just started my first of the belly dance classes here with Hadiza yesterday. So I'm committed through December. Finding my thing, she's better yoga, and finding belly dance. I grew in my late teens, my family went completely raw diet. So George Malcolmus Hallelujah Diet, I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but it was juicing and raw during the day and then a raw meal at night or something cooked at night. We were doing barley greens, barley grass, and we saw such a difference, as a family with 4 teenagers. My mom wrote a vegan cookbook, back in the day, and very, very mindful about doing like colonic cleanses and everything, and long got away from that. So I'm also in this, with me going through menopause, looking.
So there's 2 of us in the house going through it.
Yes. And so, and I'm the cook in the house. The kitchen is my happy place. So learning how I can change some of our diet habits to help support both of us is definitely something I'm interested in. And I suffer from seasonal allergies too.
I was gonna ask though, my question though was, I had gastric bypass, so my stomach is like that big. So rice is not my jam.
Yeah.
Is there can we do something different besides rice?
Yeah, like quinoa.
Okay.
Do you do quinoa?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always have quinoa.
Okay.
We just
No, I can't
not
remember, does she like it?
Millet.
Yes, she did like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
She changes her mind, like, my stomach, but the rice is just too heavy.
Mhm.
Do you have any questions?
No, I was gonna, I'm glad you grabbed that one.
Hi, Kathleen.
I haven't been to Inner Bliss, however,
I'm missing out.
I'm working on that, but I do see Jackie, who is, she does, I get the manual lymphatic drainage and the menopause massage. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. So I started seeing Jackie, and then I found out about this, and she knows that I'm into, postmenopausal, so I've been through a lot of a lot of stuff, but my body's, I found in the last year really has changed a lot. I don't have a thyroid. I had thyroid cancer 15 years ago, so but as my body has been changing, so has my medication levels, and so I kept being hyperthyroid, which is not fun, and I didn't know it. So you're think about a revved engine, to your point, that doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You have heart palpitations, so as you age, I think a lot of people tend to get hypo, but since I don't have a thyroid, and as my lean muscle mass drops, then I'm therefore on too much medication.
Nice.
So that's something I've been struggling with, plus my skin. It's just like, ow, where'd this crazy skin come from? Why is my hair thinner? I know that's thyroid related too, but age. And I have really focused on trying to eat whole foods and organic. Not perfect, but I try. And I have an autistic daughter too, which I'm going through a lot of stuff with her too. So trying to eat cleaner and do better without driving myself crazy.
I'm Mary Claire.
Hi, Mary Claire.
Thank you. And I'm curious, like totally curious, and I know just even like from the times I've gone to like Propolo, and the diet is just prepared for you and closer to not exactly what cleanse is, but the no sugars, the no cheese, no carbohydrates, and it's like just a few days and I feel better. So I too would like to incorporate some of these practices on a regular basis. But it's nice to have that jump start.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's nice, I think, is that the committing to a week, it just gives you this little experience, and then you just commit to it for a week and see what happens. Like, see how you feel, see if you feel better, see what feels better. Like for me, after doing it, I hated khichdi by the end. And I don't mean that I like the taste of it, but for me, I realized I am a foodie. Like, I love food. I'm all about food. And the idea that I'd keep eating the same thing by the end, I was like, but I learned so much, and I felt so much better, and I was so much calmer. It was really, really interesting to see. And it helped. So then I started making small shifts. And so now, even just through the year, if things are off, like even my husband we'll just have a meal of khichdi, or that's what we'll eat for a day, right? Like, you just can start to incorporate it in. Or really for me, the one thing that they recommend that I keep doing is I have a glass of warm water first thing in the morning, like warm, like not cold, but warm water before I have my coffee. So it's, Jackie, perfect, I was just gonna introduce. So it's making those really small kinds of changes. The other thing is that there's different kinds of food, because I am a foodie, and this is what I also loved about it, is it's about eating seasonally. So there's different kinds of foods at different times of year, right? So it's not like we eat the same thing year round. So there are certain spices we tend to privilege more in the fall, or maybe spices that we privilege because, like, one example would be people who have a lot of issues with sugar addiction. I have a lot of experience with that.
I like that she looked at you.
Sweet, oh no, it was myself.
I was looking at
you. Cinnamon is sweet, and it helps to balance your blood sugar. So the thing that I think, for me, coming into Ayurveda, my approach had always been, like I was saying earlier about it's not perfection, like what's wrong with me, like I like sugar, I'm a bad person. And I get into Ayurveda and it's like, you need all of the tastes. You have too much sweet. What are you missing in your life that's sweet, that you're seeking it out in food, right? And what if you tried some date balls and cinnamon? Because date balls are a natural form of sugar, right? They're not processed sugar. So the specifics of the cleanse, and this is what I'm going to share with you, and then I wanted to introduce and just have you talk to Jackie, because I'm going to pour you some tea to try if you want to try some tea. There is So I work with, I came through Kripalu studying Ayurveda and becoming a health counselor. I work with an Ayurvedic physician, an Ayurvedic practitioner, and that I've done cleanses with her. But I've also studied with Kate O'Donnell, and I cannot believe, I forgot to bring her books, because she's the one who I have been doing her cleanse program through. So the manual, so she has put together, we just modify slightly for how many days, a manual that has the recipes, that has, and like you don't want to do rice, how about quinoa? Here's a variation of quinoa. Here's a variation, you get constipated a lot, maybe try this variation instead, that's going to give you more fiber. So it's like, and you would have all of that like beforehand to kind of see like, okay. And the thing is, for how you find, what you find works, like those are the things you can take with you. And then it'll change seasonally, like what you'll want to end up probably eating as you move spring into summer might be completely different than what you discover that is going to support you and nourish you moving fall into winter.
So is there a balance between the carbs and protein?
It's pretty much it's rice and mung beans, unless you want to do like quinoa and mung beans or quinoa and lentils, because lentils also are another, similar to mung bean, really easy to digest, different from like pinto beans.
Especially red lentils, right?
Yeah, I don't know, I find all of them, maybe,
The brown ones for me are harder.
are harder.
Yeah.
So.
Take an extra Claritin.
Anyways, yeah, that I don't know about, I would look into that actually.
I think the mung beans would be gentler for the histamine
Yeah.
sufferers
Yeah.
than us.
Yeah. I don't know, yeah, I would look into that. Because I don't know that, like that's not familiar information to me, I haven't read that anywhere. So anyways, yes, so what I wanted to do is, if you want to try some tea, this is from Kate O'Donnell's fall detox tea recipe, that kind of, because the idea is like, it should be pleasurable. Like this is not about eating food you hate, like plugging your nose and chugging something down because that's what's going to make you better. Like the Ayurveda will say, actually, and it does say that you can eat the food that is like the junkiest food, but if you eat it with reverence and gratitude, and maybe somebody served it to you and they cooked it, or maybe that was all they could afford, you're going to digest that food and get more out of that food than if you eat a meal that you think is healthy, you're hurrying through it, you don't really like it, because that affects your digestion. You don't want to digest it. You're already saying like, but, and so that was to me amazing, right? It doesn't mean that you then turn around and eat chocolate ice cream all the time, but it also means that there's not like that. Yeah, I will say that Ayurveda does, chocolate is medicinal. Just don't put too much sugar in it. Actually, we do have a recipe, like I'll make a cacao cocoa date balls, and that is like, if you like chocolate, that to me is like, that is medicine and delight. But yeah, so like that it should be pleasurable. Like it may be, like I said, it was hard because I'm like, oh, I really like a variety of foods, but it was still like, it was tasty and I felt better and I felt calmer, and it was, so anyways, I'm going to pour around and offer you some of these. And then, but there's also, and I'm going to talk about other ways to support yourself, but Kathleen was introducing it a little bit. One of the things that we wanted to do during this time is, this is also a great time, sort of right before, right during, right after, to support yourself in other ways with like a massage. So Jackie's doing a special also during this time, and I'm gonna let you opportunity.
So with manual lymphatic drainage, which is actually not a massage, it's different than massage. So because massage, we're working on the muscle, deep tissue muscle. But with manual lymphatic drainage, we're working on moving the lymph. So we're giving the lymphatic system a boost. And the lymphatic system is, tied in with your circulatory system, your immune system. So you're giving your immune system a boost. So it's really good while you're cleansing, because
Yes.
it's, while you're cleansing, your body's gonna be releasing toxins and, water, stuff like that. You know, you might have some excess water weight that your body's gonna be trying to get rid of. Manual lymphatic drainage is awesome for that, for bloating or any kind of water weight, extra water weight. And so, it's basically a full body protocol. And I start at the head and I go all the way down to the feet and move it towards the lymph nodes, which are here under your arms, in here, your cervical, and your abdominal area, which then I'm offering a complimentary add-on of a castor oil pack, which I massage warm.
Wait, you
castor oil.
said castor, I heard casserole, sorry. And I'm like,
Casserole.
I'm sorry.
Come here, let me rub some casserole on you.
Castor oil.
Castor oil, right? Just awesome.
Which would you say are the benefits of castor oil?
Castor oil is like amazing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
For detox,
Right.
people use for detoxification.
Like
all
Edgar
the time.
Casey, I don't know if anybody knows who
People
Edgar
do it
Casey
on
is.
their-
He's like a-
belly for.
Yeah,
What is the name?
Edgar Casey, he was a famous psychic back in what, the
Oh
40s?
yeah, that's how I
Yeah.
know. Like either he's a psychic or a serial
He was a-
killer.
he was a
One of those
He was a
two.
medical intuitive, and he was really good. And
Okay.
they actually, in Virginia Beach, they made a whole center for him called the ARE. It's a big holistic center, in his name. But, and I used to live in Virginia, so I went there often. And in his books, he talks about castor oil being a liver tonic, you know, you put it over your liver and it's supposed to help pull toxins out. And so that's what I do, I massage it in and then I put it right over the liver, which is right here. And let it sit with a hot stone. That will sit while I do the whole thing. It's very relaxing. And,
I was telling them about the.
So you had it done.
menopause, you know,
yeah, you
what
had some of this done
Yeah.
already.
Yes.
the menopause
Yeah.
massage
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yes.
I feel amazing when I come.
Yeah.
And I know a number of other people who have come to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Lisa Timshak, I think.
Yes.
She'll talk- Yeah, finally she
Yeah.
goes, Melissa, Jackie, you know her. I'm like, oh, Jackie. I've
Yeah.
like known Lisa for a long time.
Oh, I didn't know you guys knew each
Yeah,
other.
we've been like good friends for over 10 years.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, so I apologize, I didn't tell you what's in this tea. There's no caffeine in it. It is, so the fall detox tea is coriander seed, fennel seed,
Good for digestion.
cardamom seed, and turmeric. That's what's in here, that's it. Would you like to
It's
try
really
some of
good.
it? Okay, this
Which one is it?
This is Kate O'Donnell's Fall Digest tea,
Oh.
so I just made it. She has the
They're so
recipe in her.
Smells like licorice.
It's
That's
the-
that's
yeah,
the
that's
fennel.
Yeah, right, actually, yes, that
I was
exactly.
gonna say, that's the
And it's
fennel.
like
I
a
can
little
smell
bit
it.
of sweetness.
Yeah,
Oh, that's really good.
Smells really good.
They
This-
said it had turmeric in it.
Turmeric, yes,
You
so,
made you made this on your own, it's
Yeah.
not like a mix.
right.
Got it.
It's just the spices that you just steeped.
Yeah, yep, so, right, so I took, like, oh, I didn't bring any of them, but,
Coriander.
right, so I had coriander seed, I had fennel seed, I had,
It's really tasty.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so that would be like, the recommendation would be drink this through the day as a detox tea during your cleanse,
Did you
right?
use real turmeric or the powder?
I use the powder, yeah, yeah.
So like, is there like a certain day where you should be close to a bathroom?
No,
Like as you're going through this?
no, because it doesn't work like
So
that. Actually, what hopefully happens is that you move into more of a kind of like regular elimination that happens first thing in the morning. But the thing that's interesting that I love about Ayurveda is everybody, there is an understanding that we're all unique.
Right.
So that for most people, like this is what happens. Some people like, and it's because of the idea is we have all of the elements in us in different ways. So I don't know if you've heard about, people talk about what's your dosha or doshas in
I've heard of
Ayurveda.
that.
Okay, so doshas are like from the elements combine in us, and the way that they explain it are doshas. So people, and then they have three, there's vata, pitta, kapha. And those doshas are like kind of describe our bodies and cells because they relate to our minds as well. They also relate to like a time of day, so there's a time of day when certain energy is a particular way. And then also seasons of the year. And so, and that's sort of the thing, is that the specific spices can support like cooling if you're overheating, you know, or heating if you're somebody who's really running cold. Or even just a difference between having something that's warm or having something that's lukewarm at the same time. So yes, so yeah.
So it's not like, cause drinking this all day, it wouldn't, like, you're good.
The only thing is,
Well,
probably gonna have to
I have to work in the office now.
I know, I mean,
Like, how do I
you
plan
would
this?
be drinking, like, if you're normally not drinking liquid through the day, maybe you would find that. Otherwise, I mean, because for me, I'm usually drinking water or drinking something. So I substitute the tea for the week, and that's just the thing I
Okay.
have.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
So you know, we could just make sure we drink, well, I can make sure I drink more water.
And then, because I mentioned the sweet part, this is, she has a spice blend that's a sweet fall spice blend. So I made that, and that's using ginger and cinnamon and nutmeg. And I'm forgetting what, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg. Down. Cinnamon, ginger, cardamom. And then I took those, I combined those herbs dried. I added them to dates and a little bit of coconut oil in a blender, and then rolled them into balls, rolled them in just cinnamon. So if you want to try one and see. And you don't have to, it's okay.
You don't have any nuts in them?
They do not have any nuts.
Okay.
No, they're dates, dates.
Food allergy.
Yeah, dates, coconut oil, and spices. Yeah. I have that, me too.
I buy them
Yes.
from Aldi, you have the bag,
Uh-huh.
the jewel dates.
Yeah.
And when I want something sweet, I'll put a couple, I'll stuff it with a couple walnuts
Yeah.
and sprinkle cinnamon over it.
Yes.
And it tastes like a cinnamon bun. It really does.
It's really
this
good.
tastes like a
Yeah.
cinnamon bun.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, and those are fall detox sweet spices. So, I know, that's what I love, like, it can taste good, it can be pleasurable, like, the other thing in Ayurveda is we have 5 senses that help us understand the world, and it's okay to enjoy them, you know, so,
How's salt? Could you use salt in this diet?
you can use salt, yeah. And so I'll pass around, you can see, this is an example from the manual that she has of, you know, kind of fall cleanse ingredients. And again, it'd be something like, if you're like, oh, I don't like white basmati rice, then, you know, you wouldn't get it. This isn't like, oh, you must have every single thing here. And then this is, she calls it a fall pantry grocery list, just foods that are good for cooler, drier seasons. So they're gonna be foods that are considered warmer, more moist. So I'll just, and so she says sea salt or Himalayan salt. Is what she recommends. And like, you're welcome to, I mean, that comes with the manual, but if you're interested in how, you can take a picture. So the other thing is that there are just opportunities, other ways to support yourself during the cleanse, right? Give yourself a massage, like, what a treat. And these are also all in the manual. There's a practice upon waking of scraping your tongue, right? They're called tongue scrapers. They're copper or stainless steel. Drinking warm water or drinking warm tea. And then practicing what's called, and this was kind of to your point, and I'm gonna pass this around. It's, this is a massage oil that's made by this company called Fall Ayurvedic Organics. And I was saying I'm an herbalist, but I had to admit that I'm not gonna make everything. So I looked to find some like regionally sourced, high quality kind, because the idea in Ayurveda, if you're gonna put the oils on your body, make it the kind of quality that you'll put in your mouth, like high quality. And if, you know, for a lot of people, you know, it can be an issue with money. get the best olive oil you can get, you know, like, or you can get like even, you can get organic coconut oil in the grocery store now, but get organic if you can, get the highest quality oils. Think about that's what your body's eating when you put it on. This is the massage oil that actually we'll be selling it here. So you can see what's in it. This is a sample of it. So if you want to just try it and see what it smells like. So the suggestion is, and actually I'll just start passing this around. You do a daily abhyanga, which is one step down from getting it done to you, or maybe 3, because it is, but that's exactly what you're doing. You're massaging your body with oil. And you know what, for me, the dry skin was the thing too when I went to Kripalu. And now, like that last winter was the first winter my skin did not turn like that creepy.
Oh my gosh.
Because like seriously, and I also grew up, like I'm 59, so I grew up at a time period where everyone was afraid of fat, everyone was afraid of oil. And it wasn't until my son was in 8th grade and he was like, Mom, that was a marketing thing. Like, that's what he learned in science class. I'm like, what? He's like, you should be buying full fat yogurt. I was like, great. And so then, thus my like cynicism now about like, okay, what else is marketing?
But food pyramid.
I
is
feel
wrong.
like they
Wrong right
changed.
now.
Yeah, it's wrong. What's
Yeah.
the time wrong?
Like the daily calories right now. I'm told.
Yeah.
Everything changes with nutrition, that's why I decided not to read about nutrition anymore.
That was what I was saying. That was what I was saying early on. It was very frustrating,
You know?
because it was like every other week. It was like, oh my gosh. Then it was like the anti-eggs. Right now we're back to
Oh,
crowing.
yeah.
Like my husband, anyways. Like it's funny. Like now they tell you if you have high cholesterol to eat eggs. Right? They used to tell you exactly the opposite, and the doctor was like,
good organic grass.
yeah,
And
that's kind of what I think. I'm like, all right, I'll just eat whatever I can buy that's grown by a farmer I know. So yes. And then this is that oil if you want to see what it smells like or try it. So the idea is that every day you would just give yourself a little massage, and then you get in the shower and rinse off. Or you give yourself a you can do it afterwards too. Yeah. So this is the sample going around, so you can try from.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. And it just like, that's the thing, it feels so nice because in Ayurveda, the word for oil is sneha, and it is also the word for love. So when you give yourself an oil massage, it's also a kind of self-love. You know, you decide the pressure, right? You decide if you want to move more slowly.
Can you get in the bath after the abhyanga?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
You can, yeah, totally, yeah. So there's like a lot of, there's like people who will be like, it's this way, you know, you must do it first
Yeah.
and then get in the shower. But some people, and I've been experimenting with, sometimes like my day's busy, I'll take a shower, and then so I know that kind of my pores are open before I get out of the shower, I actually put the oil on when I'm using like especially when using coconut oil in the summertime.
I love this woman's product, by the way.
So yeah, so Jackie has met her. I'm gonna
Yeah,
meet
she's
her
great.
next weekend because I hope she's gonna be at Common Ground. I'm gonna be at Common Ground.
What's common
It's
ground?
a organic agricultural fair.
Oh.
It's totally awesome. Yeah, so like the other one is, and this is the so she's got this organic rose water. Here's one you can try. And all of these roses came from farmers in the area. They're all organically grown. And then she
You can
just,
tell, like, you know, she's really passionate about
yeah,
everything she puts in her products.
Yeah.
Everything is not just like Banyan or Bond, however we say
yeah.
it. They're okay, but it's more factory, right? Wouldn't you
Well,
say?
they're bigger. They're definitely bigger. They
Yeah.
were started, they were yogis, and I was 2 brothers. I remember when that company started like 30 years ago. So I think that they're fine. It's just, she's closer, like they're in Texas.
Yeah, right.
And she's in Maine, and she's working with Maine farmers, and her combinations, like if you look at the ingredients or combinations,
But
she brings in a lot of Western herbs too. And that's what I like, because Ayurveda is meant to be like for where you are,
Yeah.
right? It's not just meant to be, oh, I
Yeah.
must only have Indian food
Yeah,
and
right.
herbs. It's like being in here, so.
Can I have some of the tea?
Oh, yeah, please. This is mine, but I was just gonna pass around, you can see. So another thing that we recommend is using the Nassia oil, and this is really good too during the allergy seasons or if you're traveling. And it's, so basically you're putting oil on the inside of your nose, and this has like I think it's got eucalyptus and like sandalwood in it. So you can smell it. It smells nice too, I think.
So is that to keep anything you breathe that's bad in, like,
It just-
dissipate it, or is it
it
to
helps
keep it
to-
moisturized?
Yes, it helps to keep, a lot of what this is helping the body maintain its own levels of moisture. And as we age, things dry out. As the seasons like coming through summer and the heat, even if it's humidity, things still dry out from the heat. So, wait, what does it have?
Sesame in it.
Oh, sesame, yeah.
Not
Yeah.
good for Hildy. We have a friend who just discovered a late in life sesame allergy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Big time, and she loves sesame. She has to carry Benadryl and everything in case
Oh,
of
wow.
contamination.
Yeah. Wow.
I think that oil has sesame in it too.
Yeah,
No, we're good with it.
Yeah, that's why I always see the ingredients. Right, because that is the thing, there's different kinds of oils that you can use. So the idea is, right, those are both gonna be medicinal if there's, say, something coming in, but it's also just gonna help with help that cilia that's already inside there to do its work. And, the recommendation usually is to try and breathe through your nose generally.
How do you put it in?
So I usually put some on my hand and then I put it on my finger and I just rub my fingers. Some people actually will I'm not quite there.
She, Carol Ann doesn't like droppers.
She does not. She has a whole thing because she's afraid of contamination,
Yeah.
right? So,
Whatever.
so like all of her stuff, and she does,
Like, put it in there.
there'll be lots of directions, like when I've
Oh, I
gotten her
like that.
products
Oh,
about.
that's nice.
Yeah, it is nice. That is Banyan, botanicals. So, yeah, there's not a lot of Ayurvedic companies in the country. So do you have other questions, things?
What do you think of oil pulling? Like,
Oh my gosh,
I
oil
bought some
pulling,
of that.
totally, yes,
I bought like a special Ayurvedic oil
Yes.
pulling, I don't know.
So oil pulling is another one, and that's a great one, where you're just,
Yeah.
you're either
What's
using
the
an oil
coconut
that's
oil?
like, sesame, coconut, or I'll just use coconut oil. And then you're just swishing it around, and right, it helps with, like if you have issues with receding gums, things like that, it can be really helpful with. Right, so I'll do that like before my shower.
So you inject.
You take like maybe a tablespoon, you put it in your mouth, you do not swallow it, you swish it around and you keep
For
it
about
in your mouth.
at least 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
up to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel like 15
Yeah.
minutes would be hard, but I do it for
is
5
hard.
minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
like
you're
a
supposed to
fluoride
spit it
treatment.
out. You spit it out and then you brush
Mhm.
and like normal after that.
Yeah, but yeah, so oil pulling, that's another one, yeah.
So that's for mouth health.
Yeah. I moved down, I'll make sure that. Yeah, so skin and right, so,
Did I miss what you would eat on this cleanse? Did I miss that part?
oh, well, I was saying that, yes, basically it's rice and beans, but
It's the
it
kitchery.
is, it's kitchery,
Yeah.
right? But there's different kind of variations, so like some, like if you can't have rice, there's a quinoa variation or millet. And then there's suggestions for spicing that are usually supportive for the fall. The idea is in the fall, it's more you're moving into what they call the Vata season. And Vata itself is movement, and movement is required for change. So a lot of times there's extra movement, right? You've got the movement of change, and then you're going into this winter season. So that's why like this one is considered specifically So they talk about it as oils or things that balance your doshas, right? And you balance them. Usually doshas get out of balance because there's too much of something. There's too much heat or too much cold or too much rigidity, too much flexibility, and you balance it by trying to bring in the opposite.
So how did you feel afterwards? Like,
Oh
and
my
how do you like
gosh.
jump into like eating like that?
So you
Or,
do,
like,
okay, you take your time moving back. So it is sort of funny, right? Like, okay, if you want to, I'm gonna pass this around because there's like a whole manual that we have that you'll get. This is also from Banyan, but I think they do a pretty good job of talking about what a khichdi, what a traditional Ayurvedic cleanse is like. And you can get this right from the internet and get it as a PDF. And it's one that I'm gonna send to people anyways. Because, oh, now I totally lost my train of thought. Because your question
what happens after?
was about
How do you go-
afterwards.
how do
Okay,
you
right,
go
so that's the
there?
thing. They will tell you a whole, like, here's what you do as you're approaching it. Let go of caffeine and sugar, like cut back on those
Caffeine's gonna
things.
be hard for me, but.
Yeah,
Alcohol.
alcohol, recreational drugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you do a little coffee, like if you were to do not
No,
cream
she
it
calls
in,
me at no
just like-
cheese.
So the.
Or what if you put like cardamom in it or something?
So, yes, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you can try like tea to see if that would help, right? But yeah, if that's what you need to do, then that's what you do. It's not like, sorry,
Yeah.
right? Because you'll still get benefits,
Yeah.
right, from it. Yeah, but yeah, the cheese, dairy is one of the things that's not in for the week,
Oh, okay.
right? It, not forever, and again, it depends on your body type.
How long
and
do people
dosha.
normally do these for?
People will do them for anywhere from 3 days to 3 weeks.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's a time of sort of moving in, like starting to let go of those things. And then you have, and it's a period for, when we're doing the 7 days, it's really a period of 3 days when you're just eating khichdi, right? And then you're kind of coming out and adding a little bit more. So the idea is you move in slowly, you have the specific time, and then you move out.
Okay.
That being said, I will tell you, I did not give up coffee or anything. I'm like, whatever. I mean, I won't even tell you what I did the night before. But I still like, so no, I am like a great example of, I never do that is.
Of knowing your limits.
Yeah, right, like, I'm like, yes, that is such a great idea to do that, but I'll wait till I have to. Like I promised you,
Right, like,
caffeine
so
now.
to build up to the day,
Mhm.
you should, probably, it sounds like you should make some like
Yes.
smaller adjustments before
Yes.
you get there,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Because
yes,
not only are you going to shock your body with not having any sugar,
yes.
but then you're gonna shock your body without any caffeine
Mhm.
or, you know,
The withdrawals are gonna hit
your
harder.
withdrawals are gonna be
Depending on how much
hard.
caffeine you have.
So, and it depends, right? Like,
Yeah.
so this was the funny thing for me is I'm somebody who drinks like, you know, half a pot of coffee every morning. I went cold turkey. I did not have headaches. I actually am somebody who is unaffected when I quit caffeine. Like I probably just don't need it. It's as much a habit as anything. And I've actually been cutting back. Like my Ayurvedic practitioner, she wrote a whole thing because it took her a long time. I mean, she's been doing this for like 20 years, and she really she eliminated coffee completely in the past year. And she was really amazed with the difference it made. But the thing is, it gets into that thing where if you're not doing it and you're just being hard on yourself or judgmental, then you're not really getting the benefits. Like it really,
The energy's gonna be on.
yes, yeah. So like, I'm not like proud that that's how I went into it, but like, that's the truth. And the surprise was that it still worked, that I was fine without coffee. And there's enough sweetness for me in rice and beans and the vegetables I eat that I didn't even have like sugar cravings.
Yeah.
It was what made me realize how much of my
Sugar
eating
person
is
anyway.
emotional.
I feel like
Right.
sugar would be easy for me.
Yeah.
It's more the caffeine that's hard for me.
Yeah, so I thought the caffeine would be harder than it was. So then, but you also can have green tea, have black
That's what I,
tea.
and you know what, and I weaned off of caffeine.
Yeah.
I've been weaned off of
Yeah.
that for years.
Yeah.
Because I was drinking too much, I was getting heart palpitations, I'm like, this isn't good for my
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah.
It took me a while to wean off of it though, mind you, I did it very methodically. And I slowly, as I was cutting that back, I went to green tea.
Yes, yes.
And then now I've even cut back from the caffeinated green tea to the decaffeinated green tea and other herbs, herbal teas that I drink.
Now, when
Yeah, and it can be done.
cutting out the caffeine, I know for some people, I mean, how do you feel, or have you had people or done, instead of the caffeine, going to the mushroom type of drinks? Like the,
Like the rise.
chaga, those sorts of things, like mud water and
oh,
stuff like
yeah.
that.
My husband wants me to order that, but it's expensive.
My daughter did mud water.
Yeah.
What's in it?
So it's got chaga, lion's mane, all of the different mushrooms in it. And it's a lot of people are using that as a substitute for coffee because it'll still give you that energy but no caffeine. But it's all natural, so it's
Yeah.
not the caffeine high buzz you get, and it also helps to regulate a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And she was drinking espresso shots in her coffee, and she found that she had
I
a
do
lot
that
more
too.
energy and mental clarity and things
Yeah.
like that because it wasn't flooded with caffeine. And it's a nice coffee substitute that a lot of people are moving towards because it also has the health benefits of the lion's mane and those sorts of
Yeah.
mushrooms.
So I guess I don't know for certain.
No, that's fair.
And I'm
No,
actually, because I'm part of this group in school, I'm actually gonna ask Kate that question because I know that chaga is used for cancer and is at risk plant, it's at risk of being over harvested.
Okay.
Is the issue. It doesn't just grow back and they can't replicate
Got
it. So I hesitate I don't know. I don't know, like, my husband is really into, like, he forages for mushrooms, and so he knows like a lot of the different health benefits. But I know mostly lion's mane and chaga for you have a neurological disease or you have cancer. And I know, and reishi, people take more, I think about it more on like a mental kind of level. So it's a good question. I'm actually gonna ask. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a good question.
I mean, she did really well with it just because it was getting rid of her coffee, but she did feel like she had that energy and stuff like that. It made a difference in how she changed what she did.
Yeah.
Ginger, cardamom, nutmeg, black pepper, cinnamon, cloves.
Is that what else is in it?
Is that the rise?
And then it has
The
the.
mud water.
Oh,
There's
the
a
mud
line
water.
I think
thing.
mud water was one of the big brands.
All those things you just read off are kind of like the fall
Yeah.
detox.
Yeah, I was just
Yeah.
gonna say, that's funny, right?
Just without the mushrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, that tea alone was
Really nice.
fantastic. I loved it.
Yeah.
That was really good.
Now-
I like it.
Just a quick question on that. Yeah. Is it just, it's all the powdered?
No, actually, I used whole, so I used
Okay.
a teaspoon, so for 4 cups, I did a teaspoon of coriander, a teaspoon of fennel, a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 4 cardamom pods that I cracked, put in, and then I simmered it. Because the seeds, if it was just powder, I would have more blended it in, but with the seeds, you simmer it for a little bit, so I simmered it for maybe 15 minutes.
Kind of like smelling it, almost like a muffin.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is smell good. That's what I've mostly done, like, I do drink coffee in the morning, but I do herbal teas then in the afternoon, evening. I think it is a habit, that's the thing that's so interesting, so that I'm actually thinking, like, when I do this cleanse in October, like, maybe this is the time when I try and, like, switch it out and just keep doing tea instead, because I actually didn't become a coffee drinker until my 30s. I didn't drink, it was when I had 2 jobs and 2 young children. And the women who started me drinking coffee were like so proud that they got me drinking coffee, because at that point.
Because you were just as buzzed as them.
Because I just was
Exactly.
tired, I guess, and so.
Yeah, it does have its purpose,
And right, and that was the thing also, even in Ayurveda, like I have a lot of kapha in me, which is a lot of structure, and so I can get stuck. So from an Ayurvedic perspective, coffee isn't necessarily bad if you have a lot of
Is it
kapha.
really?
Where do you get that from?
Well,
You can overdo anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the thing I like coming off a cleanse, you know, similar to this,
Mhm.
is that having the warm water in the morning, having tea like that first, meant that at 10 or 11 o'clock, if I could wait till 11 o'clock, but definitely not until 10 o'clock, 1 cup of coffee was like such a treat,
Yeah, okay.
you know, rather than starting my morning with.
Oh, you're breaking the habit, ooh, but knowing you'll get it later.
Right,
It's like a treat.
That's excellent, yep, that's excellent.
so,
Yeah.
can we get back to that?
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, yeah.
And that is the thing I think about, like, similarly, like when I've done these cleanses and been like, oh my gosh, how like good you feel. And then like, oh, I wish no, I don't wish I was I sort of wish, you know, like, because it is, and like, how can I eat this way more, but that just feels nourishing and excites me. And, yeah.
It's very mental.
It is very mental. That's been the thing that's.
How do you feel
really
energy
interesting.
wise? Do you feel the same?
During the cleanse, well, what's interesting is people will have different responses. So for some people, because it is a time when your body is basically going through detox processes, so some people will feel tired. So generally what happens is you feel a little more tired in the beginning, then suddenly you start to feel a lot of energy.
As your body starts to balance out.
Yes, yeah. And so the first, sort of the very beginning, you're like, why am I doing this? You know, and then you get into, like, if it's a 7-day, you're like around like the 3rd and 4th day, and you're like, oh, you know, and you start feeling better.
Because now your body's getting rid of all that other stuff, you're bringing in, you're balancing it.
Yes, and then maybe even finding that you're better digesting the food that you're eating, you know, that's gonna be just really simple, so hopefully it's simple for your body to digest it too. And then it can just be letting go of like all the heat that built up over the summer, or all of the excess mucus that builds up to protect your body from the allergens, you know, like that's your body doing its job, and it's amazing. So, yeah. Do you have any other questions, any other?
I have 3 questions.
Okay, 3
I had to
questions.
set up to myself.
Excellent.
Okay. Do you know, I mean, I know everyone's different, but do you notice that people tend to feel bloated within the first few days?
No.
Okay. Do you notice cravings within the first day or 2? Like, are they really bad? Because I have a hard time with cravings.
So that's where it's mental too, right?
Okay.
That's what you notice, you know, yes. So it depends, right? Like for me, like I said, I just went cold turkey on coffee and I didn't miss it at all. I was
Okay.
like, this is fine. I missed sugar and I missed having something more sweet. So I think it really kind of depends on the person, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is that my mind remembered, oh, you actually felt a lot better when you ate this way. Like, even though you want to eat this, you know, like, remember when you did that? And
See, the good news is we'll be together on the Monday and Tuesday, right? And then by Wednesday, we'll be feeling better. But I get it, so we can complain about perimenopause and that we have no.
And so that's good because, you know,
Support is important.
And especially if people are going through similar, I mean, there's like other things we can bring in just depending on, you know, what you're, because really it is meant to support you, not to punish you, you know? And support you in your uniqueness, you know, that is different from every other person's, and like you feel inside, you know.
Like sometimes you get excited about these and then you start going through it and then your body's like, whoa, wait a minute. Did we really sign up for this? And then you get like, you do get a little angry, you know?
Yeah.
To deal with that.
They don't recommend a binder or anything, do they? It's not detox to that level.
No, wait, what do you mean?
Like a binder, like to help remove the
Oh.
heat.
Oh, yeah,
and the
no,
toxins.
No, like that
Or
would be,
activated charcoal.
have more
Oh,
fiber, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
So should we
Yeah,
do
that
the
would
patch thingy before we go to her? Or after?
The what thing?
Oh, the lymphatic, the
Oh,
lymphatic.
During, before,
you can do
during,
it.
after?
You can do it and either or.
I mean, probably from the
Which would be-
perspective of cleanses,
Yeah.
either during or after, or
Yeah.
maybe the most supportive.
That would
Okay.
probably be. the
Of
most
that, the
supportive.
whole cleanse,
Yeah.
yeah, like
During
if
the
you can do
process.
it during, or if you can do it in the period of, they usually, I don't know how long you're running it for, they usually say like within a couple of weeks after a cleanse,
Within a
like
couple
do
weeks,
some
yeah.
regeneration.
And you can also, you can get the casserole add-on or a dry brushing, which I'll just dry brush.
What is a dry brushing?
I just take a dry brush, that's another way.
Like a
to-
real brush?
Yeah,
Like a real
yeah.
brush, like a hairbrush?
Or silk,
It's like a,
you can take silk.
it's made for the body, it's a body brush.
Okay.
And it's just very soft bristle brush, and I just brush towards the lymph, your whole body first, and then I move into it only takes like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do the whole body, and then.
So it's like,
feels
if
good.
brushing is one they
Take a
recommend,
brush home.
like, they recommend brushing in Ayurveda like in the springtime into the summer, like maybe when you're hot and you don't want to put as much oil on, so instead maybe you do like a brush, so you get the massage. So maybe instead of massaging with oil one day, you do the massage with, in Ayurveda, they have these raw silk gloves that you put on and do it. And I just like leave mine in the shower. But yeah, that dry brushing is really nice too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Mhm.
That's something to do for
Doesn't
my
that help with
health.
cellulite and stuff like that too?
Yes.
It does, well, it's supposed to help, yeah.
Yeah,
So is lymphatic drainage,
yeah.
supposed to help with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anyone wanna book anything now? Cause I do get booked up 2 weeks, sometimes 2 weeks in advance, so if anybody wanted to book that, I know you're
I'm
already
already
booked. During, after, or you can do it online too.
Oh, yeah, do your cards.
I will grab them.
Did you do
I
another,
think there's flyers for you.
do another question?
Yeah,
Yeah.
instead of the ghee, cause
Yeah.
I can't do dairy,
Yeah,
I can do coconut oil,
coconut
right?
oil, yeah,
Okay.
so do coconut
All
oil,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then my last question is like, we sign up for the cleanse, what is the process?
Oh, so you sign up for the cleanse and,
And on the back, I have the whole description of the lymphatic drainage.
I have one of those.
Oh, you already have? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, because I saw your flyer for the perimenopause,
Oh,
and
good,
I'm like,
yeah. Well, that,
I had-
she brought it home.
I had to be an adult and pay bills first, that's why I'm, bills are paid, so
Yeah,
I do have your number on speed dial.
so once you sign up, in the last week in September, I think it was there's a manual that will have, so when you sign up, before you get the manual, there's two choices.
Yeah, it's the class
Uh-huh,
is one, and
That
then
was
the book
this.
is the second.
the book.
The book was another fee, an additional fee for the book. That's how I read it.
No, book.
I thought it was an additional fee. Hold on,
Oh, interesting.
I could be wrong.
I was
I've been wrong
thinking
lots of
booking
times
with
before.
Jackie. Is it book?
Events.
Yeah, no, good.
Hold on. So it was $250. Oh, it's the 150, wait, yeah, so what's included, the week of the fall cleanse?
Yep.
Blah, 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 that's the $250.
Yep. So, right,
7
that's,
day detox from 3 to 6, October 23, 3 to 5.
Yep.
25, 3.
and then there'll be 2 yoga classes in community support. You get an email. So you'll get everything you need once you sign up. You get a letter, and then you get the manual. That'll give you all the information, kind of talk about the cleanse, give you these lists, give you recipes. Then if you have questions before, then you email, right? And then we all start together Sunday the 19th here, and I'm going to make khichdi. And we'll have just a time where I'll be introducing, we'll have spice blends people can try, we'll have tea, and then we'll have khichdi together. And then then there's two other opportunities when we gather to practice and for support to say, and that is where it's really nice, because then it's like, I'm not the only one going through this, you know, or somebody else is also feeling that, or wow, okay, this can also work, I'll try this instead. And then we finish together Saturday, and that's when I'll probably have like more Ayurvedic treats. And then kind of talk about that rejuvenation, which is what you kind of continue on with and what it looks like after. Is that and right now, for at least, I know I think we still have some, and I don't know if people have signed up, there's like a 2-for-1, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess you know about that, good.
So it's October 19th.
October 19th through the 25th, yes.
The first 5.
But it's been interesting because it's interesting to see like in different countries, like my husband works and he's friends in Germany, and in Germany there's like the Western medicine, and Ayurveda is just as much an important system, and people look for Ayurveda physicians. And here there's not as much familiarity with it. So it's just sort of interesting trying to figure out like, okay, how do we, because I think it can be so like simple and powerful and helpful, you know, and like that's like, I wanna live a good life with friends, eat good food, take care of each other and the earth, and not be crazy.
I agree with that. I am all over that.
That's a challenge. And so finding the spices that help balance me, finding the teas that like I know can bring me down when I'm too much up here, or lift me up when I'm like too much down here.
I wonder if the lady that's selling the teas up there,
Oh, Rosa.
if she has any that would be good for this.
She's got a nice ginger tea, yeah. Actually, because it's funny, I teach a yoga class here, Ayurvedic yoga, Thursdays 9 to 10, and I'll usually make a tea to serve that's Ayurvedic inspired. And I am going to be serving some of her teas
Oh,
too.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're ever around 9 to 10 on Thursdays, it's a pretty fun class. Although I think belly dance, I want to try belly dancing.
She's a great instructor.
Yeah, that's good to
That's
know.
my first
I
real
know.
in-person class
Yeah.
ever. Yeah, and she made it so fun.
Oh,
She's very
cool.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
excellent.
I tried it via DVD years ago.
Yeah. And I should say, right, the other things like during that week, right, like I will be sending like just a little email every day of support and little reminders. I have like a pranayama practice that supports you that I put together, so I'll send that out, so that there's offerings for things that you can do on your own, there's times to come together, there's just, you know, you can respond to the email, you can, you know, to ask questions, I'll be completely available
Create a group chat.
during that week. Yeah,
That would be fun.
yeah, we could do something like that too, if that's, yeah, totally flexible,
Anything but band.
so. No band, it's like everything
God,
just
anything but
goes,
band.
like, so. I even had to adjust, I hadn't taught for a few years, and I started teaching here in January, and now it's like everything's on an app.
Yeah.
And then like the day I forgot to bring my phone, I'm like, I don't know who's in class, I can't check anybody.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, but it works, it's actually
It's good, but
great.
you have to get like
So
the
not
band
before
out.
you-
Just,
Yeah. And
Yeah,
any
I'll
other
try to-
questions, other things, and you know, you can always reach out to,
I don't know what else to ask, because we
Yeah.
already talked about like the protein, so it'll be a balance between protein.
the
and
idea
carbs.
is it is, yes, a balance of protein and carbs. You should feel nourished and like yeah.
It's interesting, I made like a red lentil soup for lunch today. I made it before I came in, brought it in a thermos.
Yep.
Just red lentils, cumin, coriander, carrots, onion, garlic, and broth.
Yep.
And honestly, I'm not hungry like right now. I just ate that like noontime.
Yep.
I'm surprised. I thought I'd be starving right after.
It is so interesting,
You know
like
what I
which
mean?
foods really like nourish you, so you
Right.
actually feel full and
Right.
you're not feeling like, let's search out something else, yeah. And that is like one of the recipes, I think.
Like a
she's
red
got, or
lentil
she's got
soup
a
or
red
something?
lentil,
Yeah.
yeah. So the thing is really, I think the idea is that you're giving your body a rest, and so you're eating the same thing over a period of
It's like a
time.
mono.
Like a
mono
mono, yeah,
diet.
but it doesn't have to be like what you eat every day doesn't have to be what you eat every day, right?
Right.
Like maybe you're doing different things, but you do this kind of, you keep it the same for that period of time.
What do you eat
kind
for
of
breakfast?
See what happens. Khichdi.
Khichdi?
Or, okay, this, I will do, this is where I was like, during my cleanse, my Ayurvedic practitioner, she was like, you can have, and there's recipe in there, it's called kanji, and essentially it's cooking up rice with water and then you add cinnamon. So I felt, so it was like sweet, actually.
Almost like a rice pudding.
It was like a rice pudding.
Rice pudding.
But no sweetener.
But no sugar. But rice.
Can you put a little maple syrup?
You could, although usually you're not adding those things at least during that week.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, so that was, so that I did like khichdi, lunch and dinner, and then for breakfast, just rice and cinnamon. So
I'm almost excited not to have to think about what I'm gonna.
that is what a lot of people
I know.
say, seriously.
That's all I'm eating.
Yes,
It's true, that
And
is
vegetables,
also
right?
true. Yeah, and vegetables, seasonal vegetables, yeah, that you.
with the khichdi.
Yeah,
So we just did a
Or
roast
sauteed
beef.
greens. Can you have olive oil?
And then
You could add, they recommend,
Or ghee.
yeah,
There
yeah,
you go.
she recommends ghee, but yeah.
Or vegetable with the vegetable.
Pre-made
Well, it'll be the
seasoning.
basics, it'll be the basics.
But you know what, you're right, that is one of the
When you're
things that
cleansing,
comes
you're
looking
up.
forward to
Yeah, when people are like, I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're cleansing, you're supposed to watch the oil, right? For your liver. Is that,
No,
No?
you're having oil, I mean,
Okay.
they're recommending ghee or
Or coconut.
coconut oil, so yeah.
okay.
Actually, Ayurveda loves oil, it's
Okay.
funny, it's so the opposite
It's
of
good for it.
how I was raised, yeah.
It's good for it.
And I gotta say, as much as I've experimented with it, it does help, you know, like I'm amazed how much oil I put on my body. And it just absorbs it, you know, and
Avocado, a lot of avocado.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things
Okay,
too, it's
avocado.
fatty, but it's good for your skin, there's a lot of like.
I mean, it can be heavy to digest.
Yeah.
Like the idea is that, and it's probably not gonna be seasonal here, like if
Right.
we're just thinking of the veggies that are in season here, rice and beans, that's just gonna be a little bit
Squash.
easier to yeah, like
Sweet
squash,
potato
like summer squash, or not summer squash, winter squash, like,
Yeah.
like that orange,
Yeah.
sweet.
Butternut.
Butternuts, yeah,
Mhm.
yes,
And
acorn, yep,
We
yep.
can have that.
Potato.
My fantasy is to like, we keep doing this and then we like connect in, like there's some awesome farmers and we do it where like people can even just get their own package of like, here are the organic veggies from Loving Mama Farm and
Mhm.
rice and,
That's cool.
you know, yeah.
So really the key is using mostly organic foods,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like some, is it okay for some that are not?
Yeah,
organic?
totally,
Like-
yes.
Like a squash
Yes.
maybe, or a, I don't know.
Yeah, like I would
Not the
say
very
it's like usually you privilege local over, like for me, if it's between organic and it flew in from California,
Or a farm
local, and I
stand.
know
So we
the
can take a
farmer.
field trip to the farmer's market that
Yes.
Sunday, and we can go
Yes.
shopping.
Yeah, yeah.
Or just meet Hildy halfway, Vermonters give you all their veggies.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Really over harvest, right?
Oh,
They just
yeah.
wanna get rid of them.
Here's all these zucchini for you, here's a bag of cucumbers, here's a bag of tomatoes and jalapenos.
Nice, yeah, really.
That was just a girl's lunch, here you go, here's the And then we went for a walk and somebody stopped us and gave us
Corn.
corn. We went for a 2-mile walk the other night.
Come by my house, I have cherry tomatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, we literally, we
I'm
went
just
for a
wondering.
2-mile walk the other night after I got home from work and everything, and we walked around the corner from our house, and there's a little barn on the corner, and the guy goes, "Hey, where are you going?" She's like, "I don't know, where are we going?" He goes, "I got something for you."
Oh,
And he goes, pulls out, he's a farmer.
Driving by.
Back of his truck, he has totes, and he's like, "Here's some from corn, here's some cucumbers, here's some fresh tomatoes, and here's a bag." So we
Okay.
dragged it the 2 miles.
That's
So
awesome.
close.
Yeah.
I was like, "Yay,
Yeah.
like, we have all these beautiful veggies."
And I will say, I think that is probably the ultimate nourishment, right? When you eat the food that's grown here lovingly, yeah.
Yeah, we got one, she was a sauce.
Oh, it
Ground.
smelled like the earth. It
Yes.
smelled so good.
Yes.
And then the person, then
Yes.
the last time I went out to go visit some friends, she gave me her chicken eggs. And I was like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
I got chicken eggs. We've been blessed.
Had feathers on them and
I
everything.
still had
They were
feathers on
organic.
it. It was, I was like, we don't have
They
to
were
organic.
Right, that's right.
Right? It was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. That is really excellent.
But I don't think I have, but I saw the seeds on there, but wait a minute, I'm confused. That list oak stuff, you can have all that plus the other stuff you're talking about? The
This
rice
is-
and beans?
This
or-
is the stuff that includes like basmati rice, mung beans, like that was on that list. And then she has suggestions where.
So you're not just literally eating rice and beans every day, you can have add-ons.
So you're having rice and beans with veggies.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
Alright,
and
that's
spices.
easier.
Yes, right, so
Okay.
yes, so the
That's
khichdi,
okay.
the recipe
You
for
can get
khichdi
sweet from the
starts
veggies.
with a grain, usually rice,
Mhm.
and a bean that's easy to digest, which would be either like a mung bean or lentils. And then you're also adding veggies.
Those
add-ons.
seasonal
And
veggies.
it's seasonal veggies into it and spices.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
so
That
that's the
makes
thing,
it
it really
way more
does.
exciting.
Exactly, it really
Sorry.
does taste good. No, that's good, I'm glad I'm glad we got to that, that's very important.
I'm like, cause I have sunflower seeds on
Can you do
there.
fruit or no?
I think she's got fruit on that list,
Like
like apple,
stewed fruit?
especially.
Yeah,
she
she
does
has apples.
Stewed
Stewed apples for
yes.
breakfast?
Like, I will say,
Bananas,
the one thing that where
cranberries,
Ayurveda differs from some other kinds of eating philosophy is like Ayurveda is like about cooked foods,
Yeah.
like, so the apples, like if you had apples, she may have a breakfast recipe where you just stew them. And you can add a little bit of oil.
Put cinnamon on
or
them.
something.
Yes.
We can just put cinnamon on
Totally.
everything, right?
Yes.
Cinnamon
Yes,
is
you
cool.
can. Yeah. Cinnamon's great. Yes, and actually,
I did
that's a
do a
good
big
point, it's
research
the,
on that one.
it is the Ceylon, the
Cinnamon.
sweet cinnamon, which is
Cinnamon.
different. Cassia is different, and if you have cinnamon every day, the recommendation is use this over cassia cinnamon. Because of some of the constituents in it.
Do you have a favorite place you can shop for your?
I love, like, that's why I brought
The
these,
Honestly
I
Co-op is my
love
favorite, they have
Mountain
everything
Rose
bulk.
herbs.
Where is that?
Yeah,
It's
I
in
got
Albany.
this, from
What's it
the
called?
Honest Way.
Honest weight.
Honest Way.
Yeah, co-op.
Okay.
They have
It's a
the yellow
beautiful place.
split mung beans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Bulk.
Yep. I'm glad that you asked that because I'll make sure that I include that in the
Mhm.
email that people
I
know.
just want to.
I mean, unless you're close to
Has the bulk
Saratoga.
spices and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Miss
Healthy
that.
living, I guess.
healthy living is
Yeah.
pretty good in Saratoga.
Are
Are you
guys
in,
have a healthy living down?
in Saratoga?
Oh, okay.
So it
But-
depends on if you're
yeah, we-
closer to Albany or closer to.
She used to live in Vermont, so when we say like, oh, it's all the way in Albany, she's like, that's not far. It's 45 minutes to get
Or
when we say,
anywhere.
oh, it's like all the way in Saratoga.
We
She's
didn't
like,
even
I
have
got
Uber.
this.
Yeah. Right here. Like, there was no
45
Uber.
So, yeah, so I was, Honest Way is a great
Oh,
source for
awesome.
all
Okay.
of those spices, grains.
Yeah, they even have
and-
spices in bulk.
Yeah, they have spices.
Yeah, cause I looked at like Whole Foods one day, just out of the blue, and they don't have
No,
anything
they
really.
do not.
They used to have a great bulk
They
section.
They don't
used to
have a
Not
big bulk
anymore.
section
No.
anymore, and I'm looking for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't even
Honest
shop at
Way.
Whole Foods.
Okay.
Honest Way
And I
is
work in
great.
Albany, so.
I only shop at Honest Way
Yeah.
now, not Whole Foods.
I just shop at Honest Way in Whiskey Co-op.
Yeah. This kid.
Yeah. Cause I live near there,
Oh.
and they're super, like, you ask them for a particular thing, they'll carry it.
Oh,
People
nice.
buy it, they're happy.
You have to be like a member of this? Okay. Not honestly either?
No.
You don't have to be, no. Okay, awesome.
Not at all.
I asked them to get local meat one time and they acted like I was,
At the
Nuts.
Whiskey Co-op.
yeah,
Yeah,
they were like, huh,
There's Buckley
what?
Farm,
They-
there's a lot of farms.
Yeah, there are.
I feel like nobody understood what I was asking. I was like,
We're gonna pay for it, but.
never mind.
Yeah, yeah. They do, I know, it's funny, they do at least do their own meat, right?
Mhm.
Like, a lot of people like them because
Yeah.
they have their own butchers.
Oh, okay.
But I don't rely on them for that. I
Yeah,
actually go to Roxbury Farm. and
Yeah,
do
yeah.
instead. But yeah, no, I guess, that they probably don't. But just as like a small, people in the
But they do have other local stuff.
Yeah.
Like local yogurt.
Yeah. But not bulk, really, like
Right.
honest weight.
Yeah.
For these treatments. Yeah,
Me
it's
too.
it's totally. It's totally.
I'm really happy now that you said we can have vegetables and seeds and all that. Okay,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
good, we can do this.
Yeah, you can totally do this.
Yes.
And it actually is, like, I know, I had all of those same things too about like, what am I gonna miss? And the thing that was interesting was that it was a little surprising. It wasn't necessarily what I expected. But having a community, like other people were going through the same thing, so I didn't feel like too unusual. Yeah, so, yeah.
It's only a week.
And it's only a week, but that is the thing, is how much difference like a week
A
can
week makes a
make,
big
you know,
difference.
and so it's just interesting to see.
Especially with sugar,
Yeah. Yeah.
like how sweet things taste after a week of
Mhm.
just cutting out like sugary drinks.
Right.
Just cutting out like
Mhm.
some of the things. Insane how sweet it is after.
Yes, yeah. So I would be curious, especially where people talk about allergies, it'd be interesting to see if like people notice an improvement, you know.
What's
I mean, that's the
interesting,
thing.
so Mira, do you know that Ayurvedic woman, I think it's Myra?
Oh, she's
Myra?
in Glenville.
No, she's like in Bali, she's an online
yeah.
only.
Oh, I don't know.
It's called Hale Pule Ayurveda and Yoga. Anyway, she has like an Ayurvedic practitioner program that I've looked into and stuff, and I took her kitchen, Ayurvedic cooking.
Oh,
It was
yes.
just like $40,
Yeah.
and she did the basic Ayurvedic cooking. You watch her videos. Anyway, she says that food allergies are because of digestion.
Yeah. I
That
think
once you
really says
correct
that.
your,
Yeah.
ama,
Yeah.
no, what is it?
Ama. Ama is what they call the toxins that build up in
Yeah.
your system that you
Yeah,
get rid of with a
but what's the other name for digestion?
Agni.
Agni.
Your Agni.
Once you correct your Agni,
Yeah.
then the food allergies aren't an issue anymore.
Interesting.
We did have that experience with somebody who said they were lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
By the end of the Ayurvedic health counselor training,
Yeah.
she was drinking whole milk
Yeah,
and feeling better.
yeah,
So it did actually
You know what I
shift.
would do?
right.
So, yeah, that's
Like she
interesting.
doesn't believe in food allergies at all, she's like,
Yeah,
I would like,
it's interesting.
I would do a lot for that.
check out, I'll send you her
Yeah,
website,
do.
because I
I'd
think
be
you might
interested
like
to
her
see. Yeah.
to look at her stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally. Yeah.
And I wish I
it's-
could eat pasta, yeah.
So I have to go home and make dinner. Got two people going, when you gonna make us
Right.
dinner?
Yeah, actually, my kids are out and hopefully my husband's with me.
I know, right? Well, I have to get 15, and I have